The second step in achieving our objective of making a beer exactly the same every time is to standardise and document your procedures. I can't stress strongly enough the importance of this point. It starts by doing the same things the same way each time. This can be accomplished by analysing your particular brewing process, identifying each step and documenting it. I personally don't think that making a mental note to remember to do something is reliable enough. A simple running sheet with your brewing sequence and notes is the minimum requirement. But however, I would suggest that you consider generating a standard operating procedure of your own. Some of the examples that we would look at in this process would be things like grain processing. Do you mill your grain as you prepare to mash, or do you do it the day before? If so, how do you store it? It's not a question of which method is better. The point is identifying your process, documenting it, and doing the same thing each time. Cleaning and sanitation processes. There are various options available. John today in his talk elaborated on numerous options. Choose an appropriate protocol, use the same chemicals, the same dilution, the same contact time every time. Timing. I'm obsessive about using a timer to standardise processes. If you choose to mash in over 5 minutes, set your timer and regulate the rate you add your grain or your hot liquor so that it takes 5 minutes every time. If you pre-dissolve your Irish moss before adding it to the kettle, pick a time in the boil to do that using a predetermined amount of water, document it and do the same thing every time. Add your hops when the second counter hits 15 minutes, for example, not when the wall clock indicates there's kind of 15 minutes to go. And do this every time. Raw materials. Part of standardising your procedure includes using preferred suppliers whom you can rely on to provide consistent quality ingredients such as fresh grain, vacuum-sealed hops and fresh yeast. And by working your way through your brewing process using this systematic method, it's fairly straightforward to generate a document that establishes your personal standard operating procedure. And this can be as detailed as you're comfortable with. Obviously, the more detailed it is, the more control you gain over the process. Paradoxically, although this appears complicated, this approach frees you rather than constrains you because it eliminates variables and the potential for error, and it actually makes the brewing process more enjoyable.